Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Welcome to Granny Camp. It's my Alaska off-grid cabin. I spend time out here in the summer. There's no running water, there's no electricity. I did install a solar light and that's working great. And then it's mostly light in the summer, warm enough, so it works great. When I'm staying at a granny camp, I cook on a butane stove and it's so simple. I'm going to show you how to assemble and use the butane stove. This butane stove is gas 1. They're mostly all the same. And then you need a can of butane. This one is a sterno. Just make sure it says butane fuel cartridge. Then you want to lift this little cap here and you take off, if there's a plastic cap on here, you remove that. And then see where there's a notch. You have to pay attention when you're inserting the notch. The notch needs to go up. Just press it in and it's engaged, and then slide down the fuel lock. And you can see it pulled the canister into position and it's ready to go. Now you want to close the lid. Make sure there's nothing flammable around your stove. And you turn the knob to where it says light. And it's on. Then you adjust the flame to where you want it. And it's cooking with gas. It's that simple. It's ready to use. Did you ever have a soup you didn't really like? Well, my sweetheart used to like this Campbell's spicy chicken soup, but it's too spicy for me. And since he passed away, I have some left over. So I've tried to figure out how to make it still palatable, use it up. I don't like wasting food. So I have a very simple recipe today for a not so spicy chicken quesadilla soup, just from a few extra stir-ins to calm it down. So I have the can of spicy chicken quesadilla soup. I have a can of diced tomatoes and 1/3 cup of rice. I'm going to turn on my butane stove. Oops, I didn't turn the right button on. Anyway, I put in the soup, I stirred in the tomatoes. Make sure that you watch your flame carefully. You don't want to get it too hot that it splashes on you, but you want it to come to a boil. It can be a little tricky cooking over a gas stove if you're not used to it. It's different than cooking on electric. It gets hot and fast. It's just starting to boil. So I'm going to stir in my 1/3 cup of rice. Put on the lid and then turn it down. Now you want to look carefully when you turn it down that the flame doesn't go all the way off. You have to sort of learn how your switch works, where the minimum is, and to make sure the flame doesn't go out. And then because I've had trouble with it cooking low enough, I use a simmer mat. I also use this at home on my gas stove, and you just place this on the burner once your pot is hot. And it allows your pot to actually simmer then and not burn the bottom of the pot of your food. Depending on your pot, you might want to stir it a few times because things stick to the bottom of this pot. Even though we're not supposed to lift the lid and stir rice, I need to with this pot. And there you have it. Lunch is ready. Makes a lot of food out of a can of soup, can of tomatoes, and 1/3 cup of rice cooked in one pot. And lunch is served at Granny Camp. Let us know, how have you doctored up and fixed up foods that you didn't quite like very much so that you could rescue them and continue to make meals out of the foods that you've already bought. We spent the money on the food, so we don't want to waste it. We want to make the most out of every dollar that we've spent. And, you know, every meal you make isn't going to be the best, but there's certainly new ways that we can create things to make do and get by. And that's another reason. Don't stock up on a bunch of food that you don't know that you like. If you see something new, take one home and try it, and if you like it, then go back and get more. I ended up with more of these because someone in my family liked them. But sadly, he's not here to eat it, so it's up to me to rescue the Campbell's too spicy for me chicken quesadilla soup. This is how we wash dishes at Granny Camp. Nothing fancy, but it certainly works. Ew, go away, bug. I hope you also enjoyed spending a little time with me at Granny Camp and seeing how things operate here at the off-grid cabin. Ugh. I hope you'll like my video, share my video with someone else you think might enjoy it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel. Are you tangled up in the woods again? What do you smell? What do you smell? Do you smell critters? You on patrol?